We're calling the meeting to order. Today is August 9th, Friday, and the time is 10:30 a.m. All board members except for Chuck Cook are present at the meeting, and a quorum is present. The meeting has been duly called, and notice of the meeting was posted as required by law. So we do have one guest,
Dr. Sheba George.
Dr. Sheba George, joining us from another charter.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what we're going to do first here is we're going to go in, we're going to talk about the consent items. We're pulling consent item number 1 under finance in the bank account for Regions Bank because the Regions weren't able to get the paperwork to open the account in time for this. So we're going to just pull it for now. Did you say there was a second one you wanted to pull?
Under other, number 3. We're going to go ahead and pull parent-student handbook, and Chris can address that.
Oh, that's, yeah, as a separate item. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry. All right, so, but I think I'm just going to ask for a motion to approve consent items. I'm going to do them in separate because I want to get to that one maybe a little differently. But we're striking finance. But consent items, I asked for a motion to approve consent items under facility and TEA governance. So 1 item under facilities and 5 items, 1 through 5, under TEA governance. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve facilities and items under TEA governance.
A second?
Second.
Okay, great. That's okay. Kent, I think you won that. That's good. So just on the others, why are we breaking it out into other? And is it just because they're just a kind of a hodgepodge of different things?
It's just
is there a requirement now to do this?
Things that don't relate to governance and facilities and finance. So it's just other miscellaneous items that we're breaking out for the board to be able to see that. Yes.
Okay.
And it's pretty standard items like minutes. You know, the advisory board is that is a internal advisory board that'll be made up of 4 of our staff members internally. We have a partnership with Beaumont ISD, the district ISD. So these will be members of our staff that will be overseeing this advisory board to give recommendations on how an annual evaluation of the program and how it's going, and they'll also get training on that partnership.
Is this the first year of the partnership, or is it?
This is the first year.
First year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And just also help me, when does school start? I know for LISD
Some
it's
start
this week.
the 12th. A few others start on the 13th, and I think most of the rest are on the 19th.
On the 19th, the following
Yes.
Tuesday. Okay, thanks. Sorry, thanks. All right, so I will make a motion to approve consent items 1, 2, 4, and 5 under other. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Marvin. Any objections? And I didn't do that for the prior one either. Any objections to the prior? Okay. All motions related to consent items are approved unanimously under both facilities, or all 3, TEA governance and other, and we struck consent item number 3 and consent item number 1 under finance. Okay. I'm going to now hand it off to Chris because we're going to go into closed session. And he's going to explain why we're.
Yeah. So right now we have got two grievances that are come to the board level. The first one involves the dismissal of an employee, and because of that, by its very nature, it's going to include discussions regarding the discipline of another employee. It's also going to involve discussions about personally identifiable information of students. For those reasons, closed session is authorized by sections 551.074 and 551.0821 of the Texas Government Code. Second grievance involves the discipline of a student, and that one, by its nature, is going to include discussions regarding a complaint against an employee, and then once again, personally identifiable information of the student. issue. So because of that, we got 3 sections that authorize the board to go into closed session: 551.074, 0.082, and 0.0821. So that's the justification for those 2.
Great. All right, thanks. So we're officially now going to go into closed session for those reasons. All right, we're coming back into open session. All board members are still present that were present at the start of the meeting. And we're going to vote on, we're going to make motions and vote on 2 motions involving an employee grievance and a student grievance. And so do I hear a motion to approve and hold pat with the level 3 decision for the employee grievance that we heard and have read through the record and discussed open and within the closed session?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. I think Kent, I think you won that again. Anyone object? All right. The motion to stand pat and hold to the level 3 grievance that was submitted by the employee passes unanimously. The second motion is to approve the standing pat with the level 3 grievance made by the student and standing pat with the level 3 decision that was made by the organization. Do we have a motion to approve that decision?
So moved.
Thank you. And I'll second that motion. Does anyone object to that decision? All right, so that motion passes unanimously to approve the decision of the level 3 grievance as it relates to the student. So that's all we have for what was presented at closed session. And so now we're going to talk about the student handbook and what we moved from the consent items to a separate item.
Yes, sir. Very, very briefly, so we had the consider approving the 1920 Parent-Student Handbook as a consent item, but because we sent some revisions to you last night for consideration, just wanted to make sure that there weren't any questions. That's the only reason. Everything that is in there, there's nothing in there that were drastic policy changes. They were academic. They were some changes in the law that were required. There's nothing in there that we wanted to present to you as a separate item to say, hey, this is a really changing course and direction. We really want to discuss this and have the opportunity. But, of course, as always, if there's any revisions in there, any proposed revisions you have any questions about, happy to discuss them. That's the only reason we pulled it out.
I had no additional questions.
Good.
Do you want to vote on it?
Yes, sir. If we could just make a motion for the proposed, Parent-Student Handbook as presented.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the 2020 Student Handbook, Parent-Student Handbook as presented and has, discussed this now. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. I think I won.
Okay.
Maybe it's a time delay. So, does anyone object? Okay, the motion to approve the 2020 Parent-Student Handbook passes unanimously. Are there any other items to bring before the board today?
Sure.
Very great. We are adjourned. Thank you.